Try to get intimate, even though they know I really ain't into it.
You're not into it?
I'm not into it. I already know the game and I've been through it.
Hello, everybody. And this is Oliver Happy Hour. We are coming to you live. This is your girl, Debbie Dev, here in the building. And I am here with my lovely siblings, Daisy O.
Daisy O, always ready for the show.
And Darren.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, you guys. So, of course, the song we were just listening to was by Cassie. And I'm sure you guys have, heard by now that Cassie just sued Diddy for sexual abuse, sexual assault, and sex trafficking, and a host of other things. And we are learning as the days go by that more people are coming out with stories of their, experiences with Diddy. But I just wanted to talk about Cassie and, just how she started out. I know Cassie, she was a model.
Mm-hmm.
She started out as modeling. And then I'm not sure how she connected with Ryan Leslie. I know you guys are familiar with Ryan Leslie. He was a songwriter, producer, singer, artist. He was a dope dude. Okay, I remember back in, I think it was 2006, maybe 2007. MySpace was popping. And he would upload these videos of how he would come up with the beats, just the whole beginning to end. It was just so dope, and I was so fascinated by it.
Next Selection. Remember, it was called
Next Selection. Yes,
that was the name
Next
of his
Selection.
production company.
Yes, that was his production company. And I was just so fascinated by his talent. And he came from, I think it was not Harvard, but Princeton or something like that. He had went to one of,
I think it was Harvard.
Harvard?
Yeah,
it was
Harvard.
like a prestigious college that he had graduated from. And I think he was like the head of the class, maybe. But everybody was looking at him like he was crazy because, he was this smart guy. He had a career ahead of him, and he just left it to pursue music.
Because he studied political science and macroeconomics.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah.
But that's
Thank
business
you.
related,
Right.
so no wonder why he was so good
So,
with it.
well, I think what you're talking about, he was a Harvard male orator. So
Okay.
he was one of 4
okay.
seniors who delivered oration to his graduating senior class.
Yes.
So he spoke at the commencement.
Yes.
Awesome.
And just very great guy, right? And I think I want to say Cassie was like his protege.
I wouldn't even say protege. It was his muse. She was his muse.
She was
and
his
she was what he was putting his creative energy towards.
Yes. And I'm not sure, they didn't start out in the United States. I think they were she was she was touring with him maybe in the UK or Europe or something like that. It they were blowing up out in another country, right? And when I just heard her voice, I was just like, it's she doesn't have a major vibrato, or she doesn't she's not a super singer like that, but she knows how to hold a melody.
Yeah.
And it's she's talking but with the melody.
Her
right?
and Ashanti are the same to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ashanti got a little.
I mean, it's
But,
about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, Cassie kind of whispered.
She whispered.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I remember. No, Devin, if I remember correctly, when the song because look, around this time, this is 06. So
Yeah.
for context for us, is that Devin would be taking me to school and sometimes picking me up. Well, not taking me to the bus stop. She would drop me off at the bus stop, and or pick me up from the bus stop sometimes. Well, actually, most times, from school.
Yeah.
Devin would be picking me up. Daddy would drop me off
Yeah.
at the bus stop because I'm in high school.
Right.
I'm in sophomore year of high school, and I remember the first time because I think I heard the Cassie song. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, what's Cassie?
Right.
And then was like, I don't like she. Like, she ain't got no. She over here whispering in the mic, something like that, something to that effect. But knowing Devin, you know how Devin, if something's playing and it got a good melody, she gonna be singing. She gonna end up singing it. So Devin was around the house singing "Me and You." It's just me and you.
I've been waiting. I know, dear, when we were doing the whole Oliver Happy Hour when you were recording this.
Right,
I
this
remember
is one of the
me
things.
and Daisy.
Yes.
That song was
We
out,
did
and we
that
had made a
song.
whole little video of
Right.
singing Me and You.
Well, I remember one time somebody got me a microphone, so I had a
Yes.
microphone and I hooked it up to the cassette deck. And somehow I was able to rig it up to where Devin was singing over the beat, over the instrumental track. We had our own little studio. Devin was Devin was after what's the name, singing into my little black cheap ass microphone that I connected to the tape. Yeah, it was so.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we did it.
I was so on Ryan Leslie and Cassie. Like, I just loved that duo.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was 07, 08, it was like Ryan Leslie, it's like he just vanished or went missing. Not really missing, because I think he's in the UK now or whatever. But it was just okay, where did Ryan Leslie go? And then Diddy came.
Oh.
Well, no, what happened was I think Ryan Leslie, he has signed some kind, because look, remember, everything was still MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was still, I don't think Cassie had a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I could be misspeaking.
I don't think she did
because
either.
it was still stuff was on MySpace.
Yes.
And what ended up happening was that Diddy did a remix. Remember,
Yes.
it was a remix.
Yes.
It was some remixes
Okay.
of Me and You,
You
because
are
Me
right.
and You was blowing up on the charts.
Mm-hmm.
It was, they were playing it on the radio. It was on MySpace, and it's that's really where the blow up happened. I want to say,
Okay.
because actually, this was actually Devin. I'm because look, that's when the album came out.
Ryan Leslie's album?
No,
or her
Cassie's
Cassie's
album came out in 2006.
Yeah.
That was Cassie, the
Oh.
self-titled album.
Right.
Okay.
It was released August 8th, 2006.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Me and You came out in 05.
Yeah.
Dang!
Yeah.
That's almost 20 years ago, guys.
Wait, was it the end? Because I wasn't still in high school.
No.
Okay.
But you were
No.
taking me. I was in freshman year of high school in 05.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Devin, you had just graduated. Devin was
I
at
remember
home.
I was
Daisy
riding
was
in the
in.
prison.
I was in college.
Daisy was in college, and so you were in a Geo Prism. Yeah, she
Yes.
was in the Geo.
And I was always, but I had you download the music because
On LimeWire.
Yes.
I downloaded
Mhm.
Me and You, and then the remixes start coming out.
Yes.
And so I
Yeah.
remember I downloaded the remixes of Me and You.
Uh-huh.
So look, so I'm looking it up. So he produced Me and You in 05, and it became a hit in Germany. During
Okay.
that time, Diddy heard Me and You in the club, and Leslie convinced him to partner his Bad Boy Records with Next Selection for the release of Cassie's album in 06.
Got it.
So Diddy was the mechanism. I think was he at the time, he was probably P Diddy at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They that's how he got on
Okay.
the remix and stuff like that at the time, and this is when it's still blowing up and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, that was that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, where did Ryan? Why wasn't Ryan Leslie still a part of Cassie's
He got kicked out. Ryan Leslie basically got pushed out, and you know
Yeah.
how Diddy does. He will use somebody until they are of no use,
Yes.
and then they get skirted,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So I think literally that's what happened because Cassie, the album came out in 06, and by the time me and you had already like kind of came and had its time,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember because I even downloaded like Long Way to Go and stuff before
Yep.
the album even came out.
Yes.
I had
Yes.
a lot of those tracks,
Mhm.
off of LimeWire,
Yep.
because it was he had already produced a lot of these things, and so they were on. Remember they was on TRL and
Yep.
106 in
Right.
Park,
Right.
All
and
of that.
and Cassie didn't do that good on 106 in Park because I think they were trying to have her lip sync or something,
Oh.
and I don't know what happened. It just wasn't what it was. But I think that's really where I think Diddy really started trying to take her under his wing and
Yeah.
things like that. And I think that's really where Ryan Leslie started getting pushed out.
Yeah.
Remember Ryan Leslie? He had his own. I mean, he released his own album off of with
yeah.
Diddy.
Right.
Remember he had Diamond Girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're my
Let
diamond
me see if I
girl.
can play that.
Yeah.
Real quick.
That was my song.
Yeah. So this goes all the way back, is what you guys are saying, back to 2006,
2006.
2007.
Yes. Because
you know.
okay, so
When did Diddy and Cassie start a relationship, though, that was public?
I want to say 2013
I don't know.
or
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to
2012
know.
or 2013 maybe.
Oh, that was 07.
Oh, 07 that they was public with it?
Yeah, in 2007 they started dating,
Oh,
and
my
then they were
gosh.
on again, off again for a decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And then they finally, in 2018, that's when she
Right.
had
That's
officially
when
had,
she
had left.
So
Yes.
for
2018 is when she left. So she was with him for 11 years.
yeah.
Whew.
So around the
Oh.
time, like 05 was around the time when he had broke up with Kim Porter.
Mhm.
So if we can kind of recall around that time.
And they talk about his abuse with Kim Porter as well.
Okay, so let's so
this is a little article from the Vulture. It just gives a history on the lawsuit and like what was filed. It says Cassie sued Diddy in federal court on November 16th, accusing the hip hop mainstay of rape and a decade-long pattern of abuse that began when she was 19 years old. The R&B singer, who was once signed to Diddy's label, Bad Boy Records, alleges sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexual battery, sexual assault, and gender-motivated violence, among other causes of action. The filing claims his controlling behavior started when she met him in 2005. After she signed a deal with Diddy's record label the following year, he allegedly exerted complete control over her life, including her apartment, car, clothing, and even her medical records, to keep her under his thumb. According to the lawsuit, he went so far as targeting rapper Kid Cudi, who briefly dated Cassie in 2011 during a rough patch in Diddy and Cassie's relationship, she alleges. Just one day after Cassie filed the lawsuit, she settled with Diddy out of court below everything to they're talking about everything else. So it later says Cassie, Miss Cassandra Ventura, was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Diddy first expressed romantic interest in Cassie in 2006. The lawsuit claims when his makeup artist mentioned that he was interested, soon after the young star is said to have been drawn to his jet-setting, drug-fueled lifestyle.
Fuck that. Who wrote this motherfucking article? Excuse my language.
Zoe Guy.
You know what?
She's
She's
a
just
news
a
writer.
fucking sensationalist. I hate that. I really despise that last fucking sentence.
Yeah.
That's so disrespectful.
That is.
That's so fucking disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just snapped real quick because that is
Sorry.
so that is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
To Cassie and what she had to endure, drawn to all this. They
Yeah,
locked eyes
no.
with each other. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
That was
it's
that's
sensationalizing.
She was a young girl who probably really didn't understand the depth of it.
No,
And she was
not at
trying to
all.
make her way, and she got this fucking snake over here trying to offer her all kind of promises, telling her that he's going to make her a fucking star.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let us be real.
Yes.
She was out there to be a star. And there is nothing wrong with having those big dreams.
Yes.
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cassie did nothing wrong.
No,
You
she
know?
didn't. It later says beatings were witnessed by Mr. Combs' staff and employees, but no one dared to speak up against their frightening and ferocious boss. Cassie says she never went to the police for fear that it would give Diddy an excuse to hurt her. In one instance of abuse in 2009, he allegedly kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her
Oh my
bleed, and
God.
had his staff hide her in a hotel room. Every time she hid, Mr. Combs' vast network of corporations and affiliated entities found her, and those who worked for Mr. Combs' companies implored her to return to him. Many went as far as to explicitly state that her failure to return to Mr. Combs would hinder her success in the entertainment industry.
So that is a threat. Basically a threat.
Basically.
Saying like, hey, look, I mean, that is just a nice array of writing, fucking sensationalist. She don't sensationalize that shit, huh?
Right.
Oh, that they calmly told her that her career. She basically told her, bitch, if you don't get in line, your fucking career is over.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand that. That is
They definitely
that's
put
what
fear into her.
that's what the hell they said.
They were accomplices.
Yeah.
Yeah, like call them what they are. They were
Right.
accomplices
Right.
to his behavior,
To his
and they
madness.
also condoned it because honestly, like, what do you call it when somebody else is like a lot like is just
Right.
letting the person do what they do without saying
enabler.
any
Oh,
an
enabler.
enabler.
An
Thank
enabler.
you.
They enabled
Thank
it.
you. And then they were enablers.
But
like,
not only did they enable, but you can say for some of them that they probably enforced it.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
They carried out what Sean Combs wanted.
Because they feared, like they said, they feared for their jobs or harm for
Shit,
them.
man, they could
maybe.
leave too. If you had any kind of
That's
fucking
what I'm
integrity,
saying,
look,
and that's-
look, motherfucker, you could get a pack of Vienna sausages. You ain't that motherfucking
Okay.
hungry. You over here trying to live lavishly.
Yeah.
No.
He hooked you up, and you are carrying out and enforcing all the crazy shit that he said. You don't have any moral turpitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some of these niggas want to come out and get on Vlad TV and shit and try and tell their side of the story
Right.
to get paid again.
Like the
Yeah,
what,
it's just-
who is
it's
it?
wrong.
The security guard that
Yeah,
is
the
coming
security
out?
guard, yeah.
And I'm
Yes.
like, y'all had multiple chances to come
Multiple
out back
chances to
then.
save this
Like,
girl.
Hey, look.
I don't want to hear it. All y'all could be in, like, where Diddy is right now.
But
Like,
look-
all y'all need to be
Mhm.
responsible and take responsibility for
Yes.
enabling this man.
But look, here's the part that gets me is that you want to go over on Vlad TV and talk all this shit, but did you go to NYPD?
Hello.
Right? Yeah.
Did you go to the FBI? Did you call them niggas off of Law and Order,
That
SVU?
part.
Did you call Mariska
Okay.
Hargitay, motherfucker? Ice-T.
Yeah.
You should have called Ice-T for your
Please.
goddamn car shield, motherfucker.
Oh,
You didn't even shield Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the part, Darren, I am in total agreement because
Yes.
I'm like, you guys had so many chances over a decade.
Yes.
That is a long time to be watching this woman suffer and
That's crazy. It's
and
crazy.
witnessing this behavior.
Mhm.
And everybody, I literally heard multiple people not come to, okay, what am I trying to say here? There has been no one that has said anything to support Diddy in this situation, which
No.
makes me believe
That is true.
that is true, and he settled literally because of his conscience. But I'm also like, you need to be in jail.
Yes.
No, you know why he settled, Daisy. So Devin, well, I don't know. Did you want to continue reading from the article, or let's talk about the lawsuit? Because the
The
lawsuit,
lawsuit is something else.
the lawsuit was she filed. I don't know exact date. Can you guys find out the exact date? But they filed it.
Devin said
Bef-
November 19th.
Okay,
Yeah.
so November
Yeah.
19th. That was like about a week before,
Thanksgiving.
or I think at the end of November,
November
the 30th.
16th. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
November 16th.
So at some point there was a date in New York State. So remember,
November, it was a Thanksgiving Day.
okay, Thanksgiving Day
Yeah.
was the deadline for
Was
a
the deadline.
particular deadline for any day. The state of New York had opened it up so that any sexual abuse, because there's usually a statute of limitations.
Limitations,
Mhm.
right? Which
You know
is
that
2 years or something like that. 5 years?
something like that. It was some
It's a
kind of
statute
shit.
of limitations.
Yeah,
Yes.
but now it opened it up for anyone in the past to bring up these allegations and things like that. And let's
Mhm.
just talk about that too, because it's kind of fucking crazy. You know, you're like, oh well, we're gonna give you motherfuckers until Thanksgiving Day. What the fuck you got to be thankful for up until then, right? I mean that
Yeah.
you've been sexually assaulted anyway.
Right.
So Cassie had released it towards the end of this deadline that enabled people who were victims of sexual abuse to bring forth civic claims against people, right? Or even in criminal, it could be even criminally referred.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So that's important because people are like, well, how come she took that money? She didn't let him go to jail. Well, this was a civil case.
Mhm.
This was in civil court. This was not in criminal court.
Yeah.
And so we would assume that since she also submitted this evidence, that maybe it might be investigated by NYPD or by law enforcement to see if it needs to be recommended for a criminal case.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the other part about the lawsuit was that the lawsuit not only named Sean Combs, the
Right.
individual, it also named his corporations that he owned
Mhm.
significant ownership stake in,
Yes.
because Cassie was an employee of I don't know if it was just one, but or maybe multiple of his
Mhm.
companies,
I think
like
multiple, yeah.
Bad Boy. I'm sure she was still signed to the label or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Yes.
she can file that she was an employee.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so because of this, and so this is what I was hearing. I had heard it. I mean, it's genius by her legal team,
Mhm.
was that some of those companies you have to get liability insurance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so because this is a case that is listing these companies, the insurance companies can say to the board, like, you need to get rid of this motherfucker or else we're going to pull our policy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right now, insurance is hard to get out
Yeah.
there. It is hard as fuck to get insurance. The in case shit. So what
Mhm.
can literally happen is that these boards that Sean Combs is on CEO, he's a founder, and all these, he doesn't own some of these entities wholly,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
they can get him removed from it. So one of the things I know he stepped down from, well, he didn't step down, but he took a leave from like Revolt TV
Yep.
Mhm.
and for the media. Macy's dropped that motherfucker.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Sean,
Yep.
we gonna get rid of your shit.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that this has been something that's been an undercurrent, or people have talked about it behind the scenes for many years, which is why I said nobody is coming to his rescue. Nobody is saying it's not true.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, well, like and to me, that's like in the entertainment industry. Why do you got to sweep things under the rug? Like, why didn't you all go to the police, and why do we have to be so selfish and serving as a community? Why does this happen in the Black community?
Mhm.
Like, why? This is no different to me than R. Kelly. For real.
Right.
Seriously.
It's really not, because
And it's
multiple
sick.
multiple people have stories, and even him, like there was a video that came out, Drink Champs with Noriega and some other guy, like they do a podcast, right? And I guess Diddy and Fabulous and oh my God, one of the rappers from the Locks.
Oh, you talking about Mace or
No.
Cameron?
No, the other one, the
Oh, not
oh my gosh, what is his name?
you talking about
Bald headed one. Oh my gosh, why I can't think of his name?
me
Well,
too.
I'm thinking of Styles P, but it's not
Oh,
Styles
I'm
P.
about to say Cassidy. I know you're talking
gosh.
about.
But they
know-
were all on an episode, and why Diddy was talking to
Jadakiss.
Jadakiss. Diddy was talking to Fab, calling him daddy, talking about dad. Why you don't like to party with me, daddy? Like what? And it was just, you could see Fabulous was just like so uncomfortable, and he was just like stuttering, like, well, I did party with you, like I have party with you, like, and it's just, I don't know, that man is just something else, and I feel like his behavior, a lot of people have just overlooked his behavior and looked at him like he's so powerful, like, so I better just go along with it.
But let's not forget who's Diddy's dad.
Oh, I don't know. I never even knew his dad. He would always just talk about his mom.
So Diddy's dad. So Diddy is Sean Combs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Diddy's father is Melvin Earl Combs. He got murdered in 1972.
Wow.
So Melvin Combs was an associate of. There's a name Nicky Barnes. Ring a bell?
Shoot.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, right. You guys saw American Gangster, right? So
Yes,
Nicky
yeah.
Barnes was the character played by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes.
So Nicky Barnes was a big drug pusher in New York in the 60s, 70s, whatever, right? So Melvin Combs was like an associate of Nicky Barnes.
Oh.
Melvin was supposedly killed by Nicky Barnes because they thought he was going to be snitching.
Oh,
Huh.
wow.
And it turns out the people who killed him were snitches themselves.
Oh, wow.
So that's something to consider, is that he comes from a world of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also there was something oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh no.
But I mean, I think it brings up a really important part of just talking about it, like the sickness or there. I mean, and I don't know, you guys haven't worked in the entertainment industry,
Mhm.
or if you have or have heard about it, it is a very dark place.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Hollywood is not known
Mhm.
for, sharing the light unless it's related to something based on religion.
Mhm.
But entertainment in general, there's a lot of behind the scene darkness.
Mhm.
And I would say in the spiritual realm, it's very sinister and super sick. And there's something there that, like, honestly, you have very good artists like Danity Kane,
Mhm.
for instance, who came up under Diddy.
Mhm.
And these women have been talking about Diddy for years.
Mhm.
Aubrey, Dawn,
Mhm.
like they have literally also shared this information, but it was swept under the rug.
Mhm.
And I am just so compassionate towards Cassie for enduring
Yes.
this many years of this man, and also not feeling supported by any of the members in his business.
No.
So to me, it's like everybody should be held responsible and the company needs to go down.
Yes.
Like, you guys don't deserve to make any more money. Like, seriously, you're not supporting the community in any way. And no, we're not perfect. We all make mistakes, but this type of behavior, it should not be condoned, and he needs help. Like, for real. And he needs to be
Yeah.
held responsible and take all his money. As far as I'm concerned, he don't
Yes.
deserve it,
Yes.
because it was made on the backs of all the people that he abused
Right.
and took
So-
advantage of and
So
destroyed.
it goes back all the way to him linked up with what is that guy that passed during was it Anthony? No.
Andre Harrell.
Andre Harrell. What's the guy with the unibrow?
Oh, I'll be sure.
I'll be sure.
And
I
What,
used to
Kim
date.
Porter?
Heavy D.
I used to
Heavy
date
D.
his son.
Who, I'll be sure, son.
I'll be Junior.
Shut up, you used to
Oh,
date him?
okay.
I'm telling you guys, y'all don't even know.
Oh,
We don't know. We
gee.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I got his number in my
Oh,
phone and
Lord.
everything. Like, yes.
Child, give me the number. I'm just
No.
playing. I'm just playing. No, but they were saying I was
Oh,
thinking
they were
about
saying.
that.
Oh, there were rumors about saying that he had tried to mess.
That he
yeah.
like kind of like
Yeah, because I'll be sure
took
was.
out
Albie,
I'll be sure.
Diddy did.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
Well, no,
but-
tried to take him out because I'll be sure had a major
He had
something
a book
with
coming
heart.
out.
Yeah, he had a book coming out
About
and then-
Diddy.
But Kim Porter,
Not
remember
about
Kim
Diddy, but
Porter
just-
was alleged to be coming out with a tell-all book or trying to develop a tell-all book, and then she
Passed away.
mysteriously
And then
passed
she
away
died.
from pneumonia or some kind of strange illness.
Yes.
And the coroner's report had been changed,
Yeah.
like it had been updated or something
Yes.
like that to reflect like something of lesser degree.
Yes.
And then Andre Harrell had mysteriously had passed away from something like that. Who knows what he was trying to come out with? And then or was threatened with legal issuance or something like that. And then like not too long before Kim Porter had passed away, I'll be sure it was apparently Kim was telling him that she was in danger or something, and all of a sudden he had the
And
issues that he almost succumbed to.
my
Mhm.
question is, because I didn't even know that, like, him and Albie Shore were like good friends.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah. You would see
And
their
then to
sons hang
know,
out together.
yes, and then to know that, like, both of them had a child with Kim Porter,
Mhm.
like,
Well, look, I'll be sure was with Uptown Records, and Diddy was, remember,
Yeah.
famously, Diddy was an intern at Uptown Records.
Right.
yes.
Uptown was the president of Uptown was Andre
Andre
Harrell.
Harrell.
Yep. Mhm.
So Uptown Records, you remember the big A&R, they had all the big New Jack Swing
Mm-hmm.
people was on Uptown Records.
Mhm.
Uptown was the shit from 1986 all the way, through the 90s, with
Mhm.
all of them, because they had Al B. Shore, they had Christopher Williams, they
Mhm.
had Jodeci, Mary J. Blige,
Yeah.
Soul for Real,
Mhm.
Heavy D and the boy. Heavy D was actually the over A&R. He was like the
Yep.
vice president of Uptown Records.
Mhm.
Guy. Guy,
Mhm.
crazy ass guy, Aaron Hall. I didn't know Aaron Hall was such a
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
Right? I didn't know
My
he was
goodness.
an asshole
That
like
guy
that.
was-
Oh
is-
my
is
gosh.
fucking crazy.
That's another story. Jesus. He is
Yeah.
horrible. Like another R. Kelly.
Oh,
Literally.
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Because that goes back to the video vixen,
The one that also
something-
came forward.
yes.
Yes, I know who. Yeah, she also came forward
Victoria-
after
was it
Cassie. Yeah,
Victoria
her name
something?
is Victoria or something.
Something like that. Oh gosh, what is her name? Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, so it goes all the way back to like suspicious, even with Tupac.
Mhm.
Them thinking that he, that make me think like, okay, this man is capable of anything.
Yeah, and Kid Cudi said that Diddy tried to said
Blew
that he
up
would
his
blow up his
car.
car.
Well,
Kid
who
Cudi
knows?
said that.
Well, people think the same thing with Biggie, because remember, people like, let's talk about like Biggie was. Remember, he was trying to leave.
Yes.
Biggie was
He
like, "Hey, look,
was.
I'm done. Like, if anything, I'm gonna help Junior Mafia, like all of them, be
Mhm.
over them." And so what to Diddy is like, "Well, nigga, you're not gonna do no more shit when you done.
That's
Look,
his cash cow.
and I'm gonna just take from you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just suck it dry and not even give Mrs. Wallace and any of the other family members and stuff like that, because that's still shit." It's like he came out with all the Biggie duets and all kind of shit.
Mhm.
Crazy.
So I mean, they were alleging that he had something to do with
Biggie too.
That too.
Biggie,
That's
yeah.
crazy. He's like really, and
and
it's
saying
just,
that he probably paid Keefy D, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I
That's
wouldn't
like
put
real
nothing past
suspicious.
this man.
That's
and it's
real.
crazy that it's like he's a monster. Like he's a monster.
Yeah.
And for people to be like, oh, now he's Brother Love, and he go by Love, and he got the goddess of love tatted on his back. But I just seen a post where somebody had said, he wanted to, promote or say like, he's this love guy and he's all about love and all this other stuff. And not knowing that the goddess of love, she's a protector
Yeah.
of women and children.
Of women and children.
So gotcha, nigga. Like, you trying to promote all of this or trying to make people believe that like you're this, great guy and you want everybody to win and you want, and I'm just like, God don't like ugly.
No, and
he gonna bring everything out.
what's done in the dark will come out in the light, and that is a fact of the matter. That is a fact
And I
of the
feel
matter.
I feel like he knew his day was coming. So he was like, okay, let me give all these people their masters. He was like on a road of redemption.
No, but he gave
and
him
wanted to do the right thing to right all his wrongs and think that he was going to be cleared of all his wrongdoing.
That was just a
Yeah.
publicity
That was
stunt.
a
Like,
publicity.
he
Yeah, I
gave
think
them
so.
all the rights and shit after he done sucked it dry.
Dry.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
where
the
he's
hell?
like no longer
Yes.
benefiting. Yeah,
It's
he's
not- who
like,
the
oh,
hell-
you guys can have this now.
Who the hell is over here playing Lil Cease and shit on Spotify?
Yeah,
Nobody.
right.
Like that.
Mhm.
Like what?
You already
Yeah.
sold the records and took the money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do think that he's like I said, another sinister character, and I've never, like, honestly, all of the attention that he's gotten over the years, it's been to me like misguided, you know what I mean? Because of the music. So it's
Yes.
not because of Diddy. Diddy took all of the accolades and all of the talent that he was overseeing, and that's what made him rise to the top. But it's really the talent and all the people that he was responsible for that we should be uplifting,
Yeah.
including Cassie, Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, like all of these artists, Biggie, you know,
But
all of these
then-
artists that came, like Diddy is not responsible for them.
Right.
He stole from them, and he also did it in a way that's like really corrupt and terrible. And like, let's just call it what it is. He don't deserve to have these businesses anymore.
No.
Let the people that actually have the talent and the skill and the impact and the light, like he was the darkness over their light, I feel like, and now their
Yes.
light is able to shine because
Yes.
he's going to be removed. So take him out.
Absolutely.
Like, honestly, I keep telling
Take
y'all,
him
like, take
out.
these people out. Like, we don't need to be talking about him no more.
No.
R. Kelly is dead to me too. Like, seriously, like after all this, just believe these women, believe them, uplift them, continue to encourage them, and stop condoning this type of behavior
Right.
when it does. And
Or
when you
stop-
do see it, report it.
Yes. And
See
stop
something, say
blaming.
something.
See
Yeah.
something, say something.
Yes.
Please,
and
guys.
Stop blaming these women for staying because you don't know what they've gone through, the fear that they have for their lives. Like it's a if especially if you haven't been in a situation where you haven't, it hasn't been like, or you haven't experienced
You
domestic
haven't
violence,
experienced it firsthand.
then I
You
feel
have
like
no
you
idea
should
what
not,
you're talking
yes,
about.
you should not be saying anything.
Nothing.
Because you
Keep
don't
your mouth
know.
shut.
Yes.
Keep
you
it
do
shut.
not know what it's like to be in her position for her to make a decision to leave. It's more than that. It's deeper than that. So y'all,
No, and also just more importantly, like I said, lift her up because
Yes.
the bravery and courage
yes.
that this woman has had to come forward.
And kudos to her legal team for
Seriously.
hitting him with the corporations and not just suing him individually because he's hurting right now and he gonna continue to hurt. So
Yeah, take away all of that stuff. Like nothing. He don't deserve no more accolades to
No.
me as far as I'm concerned based on all of these years and multiple. It's not just Cassie, that's the thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it's not just
it's
Cassie.
It was
it's Cassie and
so
so
many.
many others.
So many others. And they have to, I think they're going to trial with the situation with the lady that said she was raped and drugged
By
back
Diddy
in
and
1993.
and
Yeah.
Andre Harrell.
Yeah.
Yes, and they said that they are going to take that.
And
to
they
court.
put it on camera and was like distributing it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ruined her career completely.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, he got something coming for him. But y'all, that's what's popping in the streets now. So y'all, just like they said, if you see something, say something. Don't tolerate the BS. People out here, these men and even some women, think that
Yeah.
they could get away with, domestic violence and being evil. Like, no. Like
That's
we
yeah.
said, what's in the dark will come to light eventually, and he'll have his day in court. So
And I think that's why we wanted to do this episode is to not just talk about the situation, but to just really emphasize.
yeah.
See something, say something, report it. Stop letting these things be swept under the rug because
Right.
it's hurting our Black community. It's
Yes.
hurting. It's causing more pain and more strife
And trauma.
and trauma, and it's just circulating.
yeah.
And it's circulating so much that it's like debilitating. It's like
Mhm.
you can't. And that's the thing too. Like we all thought that Diddy was making moves and
Yeah.
a
looking
great
out for the
businessman.
community and doing all these stuff.
And
It's-
same with Bill Cosby too. Like and that's the thing too. Like all these people who don't believe these women really do some internal inventory and think
Yeah.
about why you don't believe them.
Right.
Why don't you think that they're telling the truth?
Right.
And if they tell you, even if you don't know how to believe them, give them that reassurance and report it.
Right.
Because then that is your responsibility at that point. Because once you know, you're responsible.
Yeah.
That's something we was always told, right?
yeah.
Once you know,
it's your
It's your responsibility to do what's
something
right.
about it, yes.
And sometimes
Yeah.
doing what's right is the hardest thing.
And I feel like the reaction to people wanting to sweep it under the rug, that's one reason why women who've been abused or men who've been abused don't want to say anything because they're like, nobody's going to believe me.
Yeah.
So if you see something, say something. If somebody tells you something that they've been through that has happened to them, give them that space to, to support them and what, their experience was. And like Daisy said, report it.
Report it. Report it to the police. Create a police report. That's all. That's your only responsibility is to report it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This has been a very informing episode.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we went down memory lane too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think Cassie and all of them they were great artists. I mean, just even thinking like, dang, that was like 2005. Like sometimes
Right.
I
I
think,
mean,
like,
talk about
18
great
years
music
ago.
though too. Like honestly, that's why I said these are talented artists that he took advantage of.
Took
yeah,
advantage
all
of.
of them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
All
much
right, you
respect to
guys.
Cassie. She has the two children, has a husband now. I mean, I'm just giving them good vibes, and
Yes.
that they can move forward now, and that
And that she could be on the road to healing. Like,
right,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I know
Continue
she's
her
already on the
journey.
road to healing because her husband, thank God for her husband and her children, like he came as like not a savior, but like just somebody that I'm
She
sure
can actually build with.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
He-
definitely
he
her
was her
support.
refuge.
Yes.
He is her refuge.
So thank God for her husband.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, you guys. Our Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy path.
Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.
Am I wrong to say if she can't dance, then she can't ooh? Hey, I never